Okay, so have you ever had that feeling like something's watching you? Like that prickle on the back of your neck when things just feel, well, a little off.
I know what you mean, yeah. It's like the world tilts just a bit and you're not quite sure why. Makes you question what you think you know.
Exactly. That's the kind of unsettling territory we're exploring today. It's a deep dive,
Hmm.
digging into the eerie and the just plain weird.
Sounds like my kind of deep dive.
Yeah, it's going to be good. We've got a whole stack of stories for you this time. Personal accounts, some like local legends, even a few documented oddities,
Hmm.
all hinting at something strange, maybe even sinister, lurking just beneath the surface of what we consider normal.
Well, I'm intrigued already. It's always fascinating how these narratives, they kind of twist our understanding of the familiar. They reveal a potential dark side that, well, it makes you question the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like it make you doubt your own senses a little bit. So our mission today, I guess, is to really get into the heart of these unsettling tales, pull out the details that make your skin crawl, and try to figure out why these kinds of stories grab us so intensely.
Absolutely. I think there's something deeply ingrained in us that responds to these tales of the unknown. It's like a primal fascination with the shadows.
Totally. And the stories we've got today, they range from the deeply personal, like, haunted houses and creepy neighbors, to historical mysteries that have baffled people for decades. We're going all over the map with this one, and I think we should just jump right in.
Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Okay, so let's start with a place where, theoretically, we should all feel safe, at home. We're going into the Hollow Ones.
Ah, the hollow ones. Yeah, this one immediately establishes a sense of unease right from the start, doesn't it? Tommy Mercer's family moves into this bank-owned house on Black Creek Road, and things just feel off.
Oh, yeah, right away. For me, it was those sensory details, like that strange smell in the house,
Mm-hmm.
like damp wood, rotting leaves, sure. But then there's this, like, cloying sweetness, almost like spoiled fruit. It's so specific and just, like, unpleasant. It's an instant red flag.
I agree. It tells you something's wrong, even if you can't quite place it. And then there's that comment from the realtor, the one about the previous owners leaving in a hurry.
Right, like it's no big deal, but it just adds to that creeping sense of unease. Like there's a story there they're not telling you.
It's a subtle detail, but very effective. And the house being so isolated, it further emphasizes that vulnerability. It's like they're cut off from any potential help or even witnesses.
Which makes it even creepier when young Ellie starts talking about the hollow ones she sees in her closet.
Yes, that's where the story really takes a turn, doesn't it? The paranormal entering through a child's perspective. It's a classic trope, but it always works.
Right. Kids are often portrayed as more sensitive to those kinds of things. What's really unsettling here is that Ellie says she can see through these beings.
That's a striking image, this lack of substance. It makes them seem even more otherworldly. And then there's the constant dripping in the closet, the cold, wet feeling. It suggests a tangible presence, something more than just a child's imagination.
Exactly. It's like something is bleeding through from another reality. And then, of course, you have Tommy's dreams, which seem to echo what Ellie is saying about these beings wanting her to go with them.
Yeah, and pointing to a wall where there's no door. That image is so potent. It's like a boundary is being threatened, something trying to break through from the other side.
And then comes the discovery of those town records. Remember that? The history of the house is revealed, and wow, it's grim. Preacher Elias Holloway in 1923, locking his entire congregation in the basement during a storm and drowning them all. Their bodies were never found.
Chilling. That backstory provides a potential source for the haunting, right? Like a traumatic event that's left a scar on the place. And the details that follow the scratching walls, the moaning pipes that whispered, "We're still here," they all become echoes of that horrific event.
It's like the house itself is haunted by the memory of what happened. And then Ellie's behavior, the way she starts to withdraw. She stops eating, stops talking, and just keeps drawing these tall, thin figures with holes for faces.
That's where the story really gets under your skin. The facelessness of those figures is so unsettling. It strips away any sense of humanity, any sense of recognition. And the fact that she's drawing them suggests a kind of transformation, like she's being drawn into their world.
Yeah, it's like she's becoming one of them.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Tommy realizes in the end. It's not that they're taking her away, it's that they're changing her into something else.
A truly bleak and disturbing conclusion. And then that epilogue with the new realtor showing the house again, making the same dismissive comment about the previous owners and that dripping in Ellie's closet.
Oh, yeah. That really gives you a sense of a repeating cycle. Like the house is trapped in this pattern of horror, and it's just going to keep happening.
It suggests that some places can be fundamentally tainted, that the echoes of past trauma can linger and influence those who enter that space.
It's a chilling thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to our next account, we have The Thing in the Attic. This one is presented as being based on true events, specifically the Enfield horror of 1973. What do you remember about that case?
Oh, the Enfield case is a classic in paranormal circles. The Lawson family experiencing all sorts of strange phenomena, poltergeist activity, It was a big deal at the time.
Yeah, and in this story, we see the family subjected to this escalating series of unsettling events. It starts with scratching at Henry's door, almost like a child playing a prank. But it quickly becomes clear that it's something far more sinister.
Yes, that persistent scratching, especially at night, it would get under your skin. And then those 3 raps every night at 2:17 a.m., like clockwork, it's a chilling way for the entity to announce its presence.
It's like it's marking its territory, establishing a routine. And then the voice. Henry starts hearing his dead grandfather calling from the attic.
Oh, that's just cruel. Using the voice of a loved one, preying on grief and those familial bonds. It's a deeply personal and effective way to instill fear.
And then Sarah sees it, this hunched shadow in Henry's room, and it moves like a spider, which is just a terrifying visual.
I know, right? And the tiny bloody handprints on the ceiling. The pediatrician confirms they're not Henry's, so what are they? It's a piece of physical evidence that defies easy explanation.
It adds a layer of reality to the whole thing. It's not just like subjective experiences anymore. And then we have the historical truth revealed. Turns out a traveling preacher, Silas Vickery, took refuge in the house in 1891 and ended up slaughtering the entire Lawson family, except for the youngest daughter, Abigail. She was found locked in the attic, babbling about the man on the walls.
That's a chilling parallel to the Hollow Ones, another house with a horrific past, a potential source for the haunting. But the man in the walls adds another layer. It suggests something more ancient, something that might have been there before Vickery.
Yeah, it's like the tragedy might have awakened something that was already there.
Yeah.
And then you have Henry sleepwalking and saying things like, he's hungry, which leads to that horrifying discovery in the attic.
Oh, that scene. The bones, the drooling presence, and that voice from the walls saying, "We saved you a seat, Sarah." It's like this entity is trying to incorporate them into its gruesome domain.
And then, of course, the epilogue. The house is sold and the new family moves in. And wouldn't you know it, their little girl starts talking about her new friend in the attic who has too many teeth.
Yeah.
It's another one of those cyclical endings that leaves you with a sense of dread.
It reinforces the idea that some places hold on to trauma and that the past can't always be erased. It's a warning that sometimes a fresh start isn't possible.
Yeah, it's a creepy thought. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit to The Smiling Man on Deerfield Lane. This one is a little different. It's more grounded in a recognizable kind of horror, like the creepy neighbor next door.
Yes, the unsettling feeling of someone being off. Rachel Bennett moves in next door to Mr. Grayson, and right away, there are red flags. That too wide smile that doesn't reach his eyes, the overly cheerful greetings. It's all just a little too much.
It's like a mask, isn't it? Hiding something darker underneath. And those always dark windows at his house. It adds to the sense that something is being concealed, something he doesn't want anyone to see.
Absolutely. It creates an atmosphere of secrecy and potential danger. And then the sounds that Rachel starts hearing, the scratching from the walls, the muffled whimpering, it suggests that something terrible is happening inside.
It's like a slow build of tension. And then the moment when she sees him dragging something wrapped in plastic into his basement, that's when it shifts from suspicion to a more concrete fear. And his smile, that knowing smile he gives her, it's chilling.
It's a direct acknowledgement that he's been caught, and it feels like a threat. The ultimate reveal, with the 7 preserved bodies in the basement, posed at a dinner table with a place set for Rachel, is just pure horror.
It's a horrifying glimpse into the mind of a truly disturbed individual. And the fact that the house is rented out again in the epilogue, with the implication that Mr. Grayson's presence might still be there, it leaves you with a sense of lingering evil.
It suggests that even after the perpetrator is gone, the space might still be tainted, the darkness might remain.
It makes you wonder about the unseen horrors that might exist right next door. So, moving on to something completely different, we have the Black-Eyed Children. This one is a modern folklore phenomenon that's really captured people's imaginations. Have you heard of this one?
Oh, yeah. The Black-Eyed Children. It's a creepypasta classic. Those stories about these kids showing up at your door late at night and their eyes are completely black. It's the stuff of nightmares.
It is. In this particular story, we have Daniel Reeves encountering two of these children. And even before you see their eyes, there's something off about them.
Right. It's that stillness, the clasped hands, the lowered heads. They're not acting like normal children. And their appearance, the pale skin, the outdated clothing, it's all a bit unsettling.
And then the boy's voice. It's flat, mature, completely at odds with his youthful appearance. It's like something else is speaking through him. And then the girl's simple plea, just let us in.
Despite its simplicity, it carries a weight of menace. And the setting, with the flickering porch light and that heavy air, adds to the sense of something otherworldly pressing in.
And then, of course, we see their eyes. Completely black, no irises or whites. It's such a disturbing image. Why do you think eyes are such a powerful symbol in horror?
I think it's because eyes are so fundamental to human connection. We read emotions and tensions through someone's eyes. So when you remove that, when you replace it with this void, it creates a sense of disconnect. It's like looking into the face of something inhuman.
And the way the children react when Daniel tries to close the door. The boy's unnatural strength, the girl's slow, stretching grin. It's a moment of pure terror.
It highlights a power that belies their childlike appearance. And the fact that they're just watching him from across the street after he escapes, it's a lingering image of a threat that's not going away.
And Daniel's research online shows that this is not an isolated incident. There are hundreds of similar stories, all with the same unsettling details.
It adds a layer of reality to the phenomenon, suggesting it might be more than just an urban legend. It's a chilling thought that these beings might actually be out there.
Yeah, and it plays on that primal fear of the unknown, the things that go bump in the night. Okay, let's move on to a real-world mystery that has baffled people for decades and has often been linked to the paranormal. The Dyatlov Pass incident.
Ah, yes, the Dyatlov Pass. It's a tragedy shrouded in mystery. 9 experienced hikers in the Ural Mountains in 1959 setting out to climb Otorten Mountain. And it's worth noting that Otorten translates to "don't go there" in the local Mansi language.
That's right, like a warning. And then, well, things go horribly wrong. Their bodies are found weeks later, scattered across the mountainside, and the circumstances of their deaths are just bizarre.
The scene the search party found was incredibly unsettling. The tent ripped open from the inside, bare footprints leading away from the site. It's as if they fled in a blind panic.
But the injuries are what really make this case strange. Some had burned hands as if they were desperately trying to build a fire. Others had severe internal damage, crushed skulls, broken ribs, but no external injuries. And then there were those found in the ravine with missing tongues and eyes. It's a mix of injuries that just doesn't make sense.
It's a puzzle with so many missing pieces, and then you have the radiation found on their clothing, which adds another layer of weirdness. There have been so many theories over the years: avalanche, infrasound, UFOs, even secret Soviet experiments. But none of them quite fit all the facts.
And the Soviet investigation was quickly closed, attributing the deaths to an unknown compelling force, which of course just fueled speculation. The case was reopened in 2019, but even with modern forensic techniques, they couldn't come up with a definitive explanation.
It remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. It's a reminder that there are still things out there we don't understand, forces we can't fully explain.
Absolutely. And you included the Midnight Visitor account as a possible parallel to the Dyatlov Pass incident. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sarah Mitchell's experience in her Chicago apartment is obviously on a much smaller scale, but it shares that core element of an unexplained presence, a force that instills fear and disrupts everyday life. The feeling of being watched, the subtle disturbances. Much like whatever befell the hikers at Dyatlov Pass.
It makes you wonder if there are these pockets of strangeness all around us, these subtle intrusions from another reality. Okay, let's move on to a story that's deeply rooted in folklore and the unsettling atmosphere of the English countryside. The Child at Crossroads Farm.
This one really captures that oppressive darkness of rural settings, the feeling of being utterly alone and vulnerable. Tom Mercer is driving his milk truck near Crediton when he sees this young girl standing by the road in the pouring rain. She's wearing a too large yellow dress, barefoot, and she has no eyes.
That's the detail that really gets you, isn't it? The absence of eyes. It's so fundamentally wrong, so disturbing. And her question, "Can you take me home, mister?" It's spoken not from her mouth, but from everywhere, as if the air itself is speaking.
It's a disembodied voice, adding to the otherworldly nature of the encounter. And Tom's physical reactions, his hair stands on end, the temperature drops, the windshield fogs up. It's as if his body is reacting to something beyond the natural.
And then the radio starts blaring this cacophony of voices all screaming, "Let her in." It's a sensory overload, a moment of pure terror. He manages to escape, but he sees the girl in his rearview mirror, still reaching for the truck.
The aftermath is just as unsettling. Other drivers report seeing the same girl, there are accidents, and one survivor claims to have seen her in his hospital room. Tom himself dies years later under mysterious circumstances, with a look of terror frozen on his face.
And then there's the dashcam footage from 2011, showing a blur of yellow and bare feet dangling from the side of a truck. It adds a layer of modern documentation to this chilling local legend.
And the local archives reveal a potential origin for this ghostly hitchhiker. A farm at that crossroads burned down centuries ago, and the blind daughter, Marion, died in the fire. She was wearing a yellow dress.
It's a tragic backstory that adds a layer of sadness to the horror. The yellow dress becomes a symbol of her lost life, a link to the past that can't be escaped.
It's a potent reminder of how local legends and personal experiences can intertwine to create these enduringly frightening narratives. It makes you think twice about picking up hitchhikers, especially in isolated rural areas.
For sure. Okay, let's delve into a different kind of unsettling mystery, one that deals with the sudden appearance of impossible spaces. We're talking about The Vanishing Room.
This one plays with our perception of reality, blurring the lines between the familiar and the utterly bizarre. Aaron Foster moves into the Briarwood apartments, seeking a fresh start, and is warned by his neighbor, Mrs. Calloway, about sleepwalking. But it quickly becomes clear that something far stranger is happening.
Right. It starts with the appearance of a door in his hallway that shouldn't be there. It's just this sliver of darkness hinting at something unknown and potentially dangerous beyond. And each night, it leads to a different room, each one more unsettling than the last.
The dusty child's bedroom with the faceless stick figure drawing, the blood-scented hospital room with the faceless patient, those details are so creepy. And the diner with the woman whispering, "You shouldn't be here." It's a direct warning that Aaron ignores at his peril.
And the fact that the door disappears each morning adds to the surreal nature of it all. It's like these rooms exist outside of normal time and space, only accessible through this mysterious portal.
It makes you question the stability of Aaron's perception. Is he going mad, or is there something truly otherworldly happening? And then his decision to explore further, entering the library filled with books bearing his name.
That's where the story takes a really dark turn. He finds a book detailing his entire life up to that moment with the final page blank. And then he hears that whisper, "Now we write the ending."
It's a chilling suggestion that he's entered a realm where his fate is no longer his own. The shifting maze of bookshelves, the whispers, and then the appearance of those faceless figures, culminating in one that looks exactly like him.
It's like he's being confronted by his own oblivion, his own erasure from reality, and his subsequent disappearance. His apartment is found completely empty, despite Mrs. Calloway's insistence on having seen him. It leaves you with a sense of profound unease.
It's a story that really makes you question the nature of reality and the fragility of our own perception. What if there are hidden pathways to other dimensions lurking within the most familiar places? It's a disturbing thought.
It is. And our final story for today takes us into the realm of psychological horror with a distinct supernatural twist. The Man Who Never Slept.
Ah, yes. Dr. Daniel Carter, the man who believed sleep was a weakness. His quest to eliminate sleep through science is a classic tale of hubris, of tampering with something fundamental to our human experience.
And at first it seems like he succeeded. He develops this drug that allows him to stay awake indefinitely, and he experiences heightened mental clarity, increased productivity. But of course, there's a price to pay.
Right. It starts with those internal whispers, the fleeting shadows he sees out of the corner of his eye. It suggests that by disrupting the natural cycles of his brain, he's opened himself up to other forms of perception, things that were always there but masked by sleep.
And those shadows become more persistent, taking on a more defined shape. And then he sees it, a tall, gaunt figure with a wide grin, reflected in his computer screen and his phone camera.
The fact that it appears in reflections adds a layer of reality to it. It suggests a presence that exists outside of his mind, something that's become attached to him.
And then the figure speaks. "You see me now, don't you?" It's a moment of confirmation that this is not a hallucination. This is an entity that's aware of him.
And Daniel's descent into isolation, his growing paranoia, really highlights the psychological toll of this encounter. He's trapped in a waking nightmare, unable to escape the presence of this grinning figure.
And his attempts to stop the experiment, to reverse the effects of the drug, they all fail. It's like he's lost control. He's become subject to this entity.
His final journal entry is chilling. It was never a hallucination. It was always watching. Now it's my turn to sleep. It implies a surrender, a realization that he's been outmatched.
And his body is found with open, unblinking eyes, which is a disturbing detail. And his final note, it was never a drug, it was a door, suggests that he opened a gateway to something truly malevolent.
It leaves you with that lingering question, was it psychosis or something more? Did he unleash a force that he couldn't control? The possibility that the whispers might still be heard? That's a terrifying thought.
It is. So we've explored a wide range of unsettling narratives today, from haunted houses to creepy neighbors, from real-world mysteries to modern folklore phenomena. It's a testament to the enduring power of these kinds of stories, the way they tap into our deepest fears and fascinations.
I think these stories remind us that there are still mysteries in the world, things we don't understand, forces we can't control. And that's both terrifying and exhilarating.
It is. It makes you question the nature of reality, the limits of our perception, and the potential for darkness that might lurk just beneath the surface of the everyday. As you reflect on these deep dives, what resonates with you the most? What makes your skin crawl? And more importantly, what doors in your own life are you hesitant to open? Thanks for joining us on this exploration of the unsettling.